Hi, Grissom staff. In this video, I'm going to go through an overview of MATHia, which is a program directly related to our textbook that we use in math classes. I'm going to go through just a few things, give you an idea of how students can access MATHia, what it looks like for students on their own Chromebook, how they should be working in MATHia. I'll give you a few suggestions and tips on how they can be as successful as possible while they're working in MATHia, where progress is shown in MATHia, some basic functionality of MATHia. Um, MATHia really supports students' math skills because it's the same company that put together our textbooks. So Carnegie Learning is the company that wrote our textbooks. Carnegie Learning is also the company that has created MATHia. The two go hand in hand and kind of work simultaneously in the classroom. So the curriculum or the lessons that are in MATHia are tied not only to the textbook, but they're also tied to Indiana standards. We can get questions based on iLearn for grades 6 through 8. And MATHia really provides instruction and practice for our students. So first, what can students do to get the most out of MATHia? First of all, they have to enter their session with the right attitude. They have to realize that MATHia can help them learn things independently on their own. They should always begin by watching the unit overview video for each lesson. They should read the information that's given or watch a video that MATHia provides before they start answering questions. And then they can also refer back to that information or refer back to that video as they answer questions. It would be wise to have a piece of paper out or a notebook to do scratch work, to write down important information from videos or from readings that they do, and obviously to show necessary work. Students must do their best to answer questions correctly. MATHia will not let them move forward if they just click answers and guess and type random numbers. MATHia doesn't let them move on if they get questions wrong. They have to demonstrate proficiency before MATHia will move them to another piece of the lesson, another step of the lesson, or a new lesson. For the same reason, they should only use hints sparingly. MATHia is not going to allow them to move forward if they rely only on hints. So just some basic things that students should do, some suggestions so that they can get the most out of their time in MATHia. Students will access MATHia through Clever. So they'll log into Clever, and then down in the math portion of Clever, you will see this black circle icon with a CL for Carnegie Learning in it. They will click that, and it will take them to this page where they then click MATHia. This is what their dashboard will look like in MATHia. So right up here, this percent up here will tell you what percent they have completed on everything that has been assigned to them this year. So roughly halfway through the year, if they've been working in MATHia consistently in advisory and from time to time in their math class, we would be looking at about 50% completion up here. Each of these boxes are different lessons, different workspaces, and modules in MATHia. So there are several of these that math teachers have already unlocked for students. They always start with this pre-launch protocol, which is just kind of a tutorial for students, gets them used to working in MATHia. There's these arrows that they can click and scroll through different modules. So there's probably 3 or 4 or 5 different pages that look like this, full of 4 different modules. Some of them will be locked. They may have to scroll through to find ones that are unlocked, ones that are probably on current material that their teacher wants them to be working on. This is what the unit overview video will look like. So when they click on a module, this will be the first thing that they see. So this is the first thing they should watch. This video gives them an idea of what they're going to learn, some key terminology, and why it matters to them. When they actually get into MATHia, this is what their workspace will look like. So as I mentioned earlier, it's going to have a video, or it's going to have some information on the left that they have to read or spend time watching before they start answering questions on the right. So they can always refer back to that. It's on the same screen. They can scroll up and down to see all this stuff. The progress trackers are these little circles up in the top right. So as they finish different lessons or workspaces, they're called, these circles will become blue, and they'll become green when they've shown mastery. Here's just more examples of the student workspace. So again, here's a video that they watched before they started answering some questions. It is important that when students enter an answer, like when they type an answer, they do have to press the enter button after they are done typing to submit that answer. When students have completed a workspace, this blue flag up here will actually spin and kind of light up to indicate that they have completed it. And then as you can see, all the circles are now green. They just finished this last one, so that's why it turned blue. And when they would finish that, this flag would kind of spin around in a circle to show that they've completed that entire workspace. So I hope that gives you a pretty good overview of MATHia. I hope that you kind of understand what students see and how to kind of navigate through MATHia. Obviously, feel free to email me with any other questions, or email any math teacher or talk to any math teacher, and we can help you out with MATHia. Thanks for your help. Have a good day, everyone.